welcome back. Happy Friday. We made it through another week. I am so proud of you. For morning meeting today, well, first of all, can you believe that we only have 2 more weeks of school? That's wild to me. So we only have 2 more weeks of videos. If you have a request for a video or a book you would like to read or something you want to talk about for morning meeting, just be sure to get in contact with me and I will do my best to do that for morning meeting or do it for our video for today. So you are in charge still. So today is Friday. Next Thursday for our Zoom meeting, we are going on a field trip. And I'm not going to tell you where we're going yet, but we are going on a field trip, a virtual field trip. So be sure to tune into that next Thursday. I'll be sure to remind you later next week. But tune into our Zoom meeting. Today for morning meeting, we are going to talk about the best thing that happened to us this week because I think it's still important to talk about the good things in our lives. So think about in your brain the best thing that happened to you this week or something important that happened this week, something you really loved. Let me think. All right, I got mine. You got yours? All right, yesterday I cooked a new meal and it was called taco pasta. And I thought, this is a weird recipe for taco pasta. But you know what? It was pretty good. So that was probably the best part of my week was measuring and stirring and cooking and then eating the taco pasta. So I want to know the best thing that happened to you this week. Let me know through a remind or through text message or however you want to get in contact with me because I want to know all about your lives still. All right, today for our read aloud, we are reading a book called The Happy Hedgehog, and it is an AR book. The author and the illustrator is Marcus Pfister. And I thought for our our video on Friday, we would read a book that is happy. So we're gonna read The Happy Hedgehog. So once you read this 2 times, then you can take an AR test on it. All right. Let's see if I can get this into view. It was a beautiful day, and Nico, the little hedgehog, was feeling completely content. He lay in his garden, watching the clouds. As they changed shape, they reminded him of certain animals or plants. Have you ever done that? Looked at the clouds and thought about the shapes that they looked like? Nico loved his garden. He knew every flower, all the herbs, and even all the weeds by name. More than just their names, though, Nico knew about all their healing powers. The little hedgehog also knew all the animals who lived there, the reptiles, the mammals, the amphibians, even the insects. Above all, he knew the birds, by sight and by their songs. Suddenly, a voice shattered his thoughts. Ha! Look at you, lounging about in the garden, dreaming the day away, you lazy good-for-nothing. It was Grandfather Turek, who was out for his morning walk. The youth of today are simply useless, said Turek. When I was a boy, it wouldn't have occurred to me to sit around all day staring into space. You should do something. But Grandfather, I am doing something, answered Nico. I'm watching the clouds and observing the plants, and ridiculous. That's absurd. Wasting your time squatting in the grass, sniffing the flowers. You should take advantage of your youth to accomplish something important so you will be happy. Nico answered, but I'm quite happy here in my impossible. Go and take a look how others lead their lives. Shaking his head, Grandfather limped away. Nico was confused. He didn't think that Grandfather Turek looked particularly happy. What did others do that was so much better? The little hedgehog wondered. I'll have to go and see for myself. Perhaps I'll learn something from them. He tied up a knapsack and hurried off. Suddenly, a tortoise sped by Meeko. "Hey, tortoise, wait a minute," called Meeko. "Why are you running?" "I'm training," she panted. "Training for what?" asked the little hedgehog. To be the fastest tortoise in the world." Meeko scratched his forehead. "Isn't it a bit difficult to run with such a heavy shell on your back?" Do you think it would be difficult to run with a heavy shell on your back? "Of course it is," said the tortoise. "That's why I have to keep on training. But if I become the fastest tortoise in the world, I'll be famous and happy." "That sounded good to Meeko. Let me run with you," he said. And so the two took off. But Meeko soon gave up. He was completely worn out. The tortoise just kept on running. She didn't even look back. "Oh dear," thought Meeko. "Running can be fun, but not like this." He rested for a moment, then continued on his way at a slower pace. So did running make him happier? Not like that. Suddenly, a hare hurried across his path. A hare is a rabbit. "Hare, wait! Are you also in training?" The hare looked baffled. Meeko noticed the notebooks Hare was carrying. "Training? No, I'm going to school." "To school? What's that?" Meeko asked. "Come along with me," Hare answered, "and see for yourself." There's the hare with his books. "All right," said Meeko, and followed the hare to school. Meeko hid behind a tree and watched. The teacher taught addition, subtraction, geography, and penmanship. Meeko couldn't understand a word. During playtime, he found Hare. "Did you understand all those things that the teacher was talking about?" "Are you kidding? I understood absolutely nothing," the hare answered. "I just memorize everything. My head will be so full when I have finished. Maybe one day I will be the most brilliant hare of all, and then I will certainly be happy." The hare said goodbye and hopped back to his seat in school. So learning can be fun, right? But not if you try to be the best all the time, only if you do your best. Meeko slipped away. He thought, it's great to learn new things, but just memorizing without really understanding them is not what I want. Deep in the woods, he heard a terrible grunting and growling. In a small clearing, Badger was trying to lift up a gigantic stone. "Can I help you?" Meeko asked. With a terrifying roar, the badger heaved the stone high over his head and then suddenly let it thud to the ground. Meeko jumped back. "You almost flattened me. What are you trying to do?" "I'm building up my muscles. I want to be the strongest badger in the world." "Oh no, not again," thought Meeko. "Why would you want to be so strong?" asked Meeko. "What do you mean, why? If I'm the strongest in the world, then everyone will respect me. I wouldn't be afraid of anyone, and that would make me very happy." Meeko thought this over. There were certainly advantages to being strong. "Could I give it a try?" he asked. "Of course," Badger grinned. "Here, try first with a small stone." Meeko grasped the stone and struggled to lift it up. He began to sweat. He got the stone up as far as his belly when it slipped to the ground and landed on his little toe. "Ouch!" cried Meeko, rubbing the throbbing toe and whimpering. "This is silly." Meeko promised himself to only lift stones when he had to build a house or a wall around his herb garden. But just to get stronger? No, thank you. Meeko said goodbye to the badger and hobbled to the edge of the woods. There he saw a trail of ants. Fascinated, he watched the busy animals scurrying here and there. At first glance, it seemed pointless, but when Meeko looked closer, he saw that each ant seemed to have a purpose and knew exactly where it was going. "What are you doing?" he asked them, but the ants were so busy that they didn't even hear him. His grandfather was right. All the animals were busy and ambitious. They wanted to become fast and smart and strong so that they would be happy. But it seemed to Nico that while they were striving, they weren't enjoying life at all. Did Nico really want to live that way? Thoughtfully, he made his way home. When he arrived back at his garden, with the singing birds, the beautiful plants, and the passing clouds, a wave of contentment washed over him. No, I don't want to be the strongest, he thought, or the cleverest, or the fastest. Why make myself miserable just to be happy in the future? And I'm already happy. I like the way I am now, here at home, in my garden. Nico heard a hoarse cough and turned around. It was his grandfather. So, Nico, did you go out and learn something today? Yes, I did, grandfather. But you're coughing. Sit down, and I'll make you a cup of tea with herbs from my garden, mixed with fresh honey. That will certainly do you good. You think so? Oh, yes, I know the other healing herbs, too. I can help a sprained foot, a headache, and lots more. Is that so? Asked his grandfather. Grandfather Turek made himself comfortable among the herbs and flowers. He sipped his sweet tea, which did indeed help his cough. He asked Nico questions, and with each answer, Grandfather Turek saw how his grandson really did know, and how much there was to learn in Nico's garden. The end. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed our book called The Happy Hedgehog. It is an AR book, so be sure to listen to this twice, and then you can take an AR test on it. If you have any questions, or if you need me in the meantime, let me know. I will see you on Monday. Bye.